What's going on, everybody? Look, I wanted to make a quick update about Solana because its price is approaching a very important zone that you need to watch out for closely. Now, I know I'm not in the normal studio. I will be back on Monday, so don't mind the quality. But of course, let's go ahead and let's get straight into it, guys. So, what we're going to be paying attention to for Solana is the fact that it is now approaching the top side of the descending wedge that we've been talking about for about 4.5 months now, guys. Not going to lie, kind of tired of talking about it, kind of tired of focusing in on it, but we are still within it. So we got to keep it going. Now, of course, as many of you do know, over the last few weeks slash month, we actually did see a cancellation of two fake outs. Now, what that means is that, of course, we were in this macro structure. We got a fake out to the upside here, which was countered by a fake out to the downside, which brings us back to a point of neutrality historically. Now, what this means is that at this given point, you can almost kind of just pretend it didn't happen. Now, some people do then adjust their trend lines out to these, right? So they would do something like this. Sorry, my camera moved there. I don't personally do this, but it is something you can do if you'd like. I like to hold the integrity of the first structure that we were in, because oftentimes this resistance that we're seeing, say, from this trend line is still incredibly strong, incredibly important, and it does entail what could be on the way. And so obviously I like to still focus in on it, even though you could adjust the structure a little bit if you'd like. It just depends on the type of TA that you do. But looking at this thing, what I'm noticing, of course, is the fact that where we are right now, again, aligns perfectly with the top side of this wedge. And now what this means is that Solana is about to make a choice. Is Solana about to try to make the break back above this structure, or is it not? And that is kind of going to be, that's going to be extreme. Like, that's going to be a major determining factor of what we see over the next few weeks. If Solana's price does get rejected here again, just like it did right here, now we're in a situation in which, obviously this could either continue all the way back down to the bottom side of the wedge, right? We could be going for some sort of ABC back to the downside, or it could entail, of course, like some type of little micro pullback, maybe another attempt at a double bottom like we saw back here, and a return back to the upside. But at the end of the day, what it means is that we're going to likely see some sort of red over the coming days, over the coming weeks from Solana. And this little pump that we've been in is likely coming towards an end. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. One thing that I am noticing is that on the hourlies, for example, we're extremely overextended on the RSI. And even if we do go all the way to the 4-hour charts, what you can notice is that this is also extremely extended. And what that typically will mean is that we are getting a little bit pushed high to the upside, like we're a little bit too far too fast. And if there were going to be any signs that entail that a pullback off this level was going to happen, your RSIs being overextended would be that. And then if you look at something like your Bollinger Bands as well, extremely extended into the top side of those. And actually, if we go out to the daily Bollinger Bands, what you can see as well here is that we're about to touch the top side of our daily Bollinger Band. And so because of those two things, it does seem to me as if there is a possibility like we are going to get some type of pullback off this thing. So I'm definitely not buying Solana for the short term right now. Now, I actually will say in the long term, yeah, sure, I'd probably do a little bit of buying on Solana because I do think 250 is still in play. And just the short term might be ugly, right? We might consolidate, we might go sideways, we might pull back a little bit. But in the grand scheme of things, I do think we're going to see Solana's price move upwards. But again, in the short term, it's definitely risky right now, right? If you're looking for a day, 2-day, 3-day trade or whatever it may be, buying some Solana at this given point exactly at this moment is a super big risk because a risk of a pullback is there for sure. Now, if Solana's price is successful and it does manage to clear back above $160, now I would say we have open field, right? I would say we have open field back up towards 190, which is where we've seen a double establishment of resistance, not only just right here, but we also saw it right here. And I would assume Solana's price would come back for another test of it somewhere up here. And so because of that, again, now you can see the big thing here, right? If Solana's price gets rejected, we might stay and hang out here for another couple of weeks. But if its price is capable of breaking above this level and staying outside of it, like we were unable to do right here, we might see Solana retest back up towards 190, which is still another beautiful move for Sol here. I mean, that's a push of 17, 20, 22%, and that could be a beautiful gain. And so because of that, what I just wanted to let you know is, of course, I have no way of knowing whatsoever what's going to happen here. All I know is that I'm preparing for it, and my preparations currently look like me. Either if Solana's price does pull back, I do anticipate a move back towards $140 to $145, at which point I'll do some small dollar cost averages. If Solana's price does continue forward and break through this zone on the back test, which will very likely happen, I would be looking to actually open up a couple long trades, expecting a more midterm push back up towards 190. I would set my stop loss somewhere below $150 because it's a small trade, super hard to liquidate. And so because of that, that's my current game plan, that's my strategy, and that's what I'm watching out for. And I just wanted to make sure you're super updated on that. Of course, I know I'm not at home, but even when I'm traveling, I like to make sure you guys know what's happening behind the scenes with this thing. And what I will also let you know, I have a second channel now, which is linked in the description below. It's the first link there. And if you want to go check that out, it brings you even more analysis, not only on the broad market, but on the altcoin market, sometimes specifically things like Solana, Jasmine, Render, and more. So make sure you do go check that out down below. Let me know down in the comments of this video what you're doing with Solana right now. I'd love to hear it there. And I can't wait to see you all in the next quick update. Peace out, everybody.